In this video, the truth behind the Michigan Wolverines' advanced scouting and sign-stealing schemes will be revealed. Most of the facts will come straight from the Big Ten's letter to Michigan, which you can read by following the link below. Ironically, at the 2021 Big Ten Media Days, Jim Harbaugh said, quote, "Well, I'm here before you, enthusiastic and excited as I ever am, always am, even more to have at it, to win the championship, to beat Ohio and our rival Michigan State.
We're going to do it or die trying."
It seems die trying wasn't an exaggeration, considering the lengths Michigan went to steal opponent signals. Due to Harbaugh's misconduct, the Wolverines would begin and eventually end their 2023 regular season without their head coach. In a whirlwind of bizarre events, Michigan football has faced a series of controversies and sanctions from the start of 2023. The saga began with NCAA allegations regarding recruiting violations, Harbaugh's rumored departure to the NFL, and accusations of lying during the investigation into those violations. Co-offensive coordinator Matt Weiss was fired for alleged computer access crimes, while Glenn "Shemmy" Schembechler, son of the legendary Bo Schembechler, resigned due to offensive social media posts. Then there was Michigan football staffer Alex Ude, who was also let go at the start of November 2023 after he attempted to meet up with an underage girl. Michigan then began their 2023 season without Jim Harbaugh, as he ended up serving a 3-game suspension for lying to NCAA investigators.
Cheeseburgers.
And that's just to start. The players then proceeded to do a cringeworthy tribute to Harbaugh while lining up against the East Carolina Pirates, like some war hero had died. On November 10th, 2023, less than 2 months before Michigan's eventual national championship appearance, a seismic event shook the foundations of the Big Ten Conference as the University of Michigan faced the consequences of a years-long, in-person, sign-stealing scheme. The conference, known for its commitment to integrity and fair play, found itself grappling with the fallout of a football staff member's extensive and organized scouting scheme. That staff member's name is Connor Stalions. The Wall Street Journal provides a detailed profile of former Michigan staffer Connor Stalions. Stalions, aspiring to become Michigan's head coach, allegedly orchestrated the sign-stealing scheme by attending games and recording opponents' signals, violating NCAA rules. Stalions, lacking the playing skills for the traditional coaching path, began coaching a middle school team with his father after quitting his high school team. He later worked with the football program at the Naval Academy, reportedly honing his ability to decipher play signals. Stalions, a retired captain in the United States Marine Corps, served as an off-field analyst at Michigan, primarily focusing on deciphering opponents' signals by studying game footage. Despite being considered a low-level staffer, Stalions played a crucial role in the NCAA's investigation. His suspension with pay on October 20th intensified as additional videos and images surfaced, revealing his proximity to key figures on the Michigan sideline during games. The NCAA investigation centered around allegations that Stalions and Michigan orchestrated in-person scouting of future opponents, potentially violating a rule established in 1994. Stalions was reported to have purchased tickets for more than 30 games at 11 Big Ten schools over the past 3 years. Additional documentation revealed ticket purchases for off-campus games and strategic seating plans. On November 3rd, Michigan reportedly fired Stalions, who allegedly refused to cooperate with internal or external investigations into the sign-stealing scheme. Stalions' ambitious side is revealed through a long-term plan referred to as the Michigan Manifesto, a detailed document spanning 550 to 600 pages that outlined a vision to run the Michigan football program. Central Michigan University also initiated an investigation after a man resembling Stalions was spotted in their bench area during the opener at Michigan State. Facial recognition experts suggested a high likelihood that the person in question was Stalions. Michigan officially hired him in May 2022, claiming that any previous contributions were voluntary. Sports Illustrated reported, Connor Stalions wasted no time in a text conversation, eagerly showcasing his connections to the Michigan football team.
"I'm close to the whole staff,"
he claimed, specifically noting his closeness with linebackers coach Chris Partridge and assistant special teams coach Jay Harbaugh, son of head coach Jim Harbaugh. In a series of texts exchanged in January and February 2021 with a Power 5 student aspiring to break into college football, Stalions revealed his approach.
"Pre-COVID, stole opponent signals during the week watching TV copies, and flew to the game and stood next to Josh Gaddis and told him what coverage or pressure he was getting."
These text messages, now part of a broader conversation, have gained attention amid recent accusations against the now suspended Michigan staffer, alleging his involvement in a rule-breaking scheme where associates were sent to scout and film opposing coaches. Amidst the scandal, Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti met with the university president, Santa Ono, exploring potential disciplinary actions under the conference's sportsmanship policy. As the NCAA investigation unfolds, the story raises questions about the extent of the alleged misconduct, the impact on Michigan's unbeaten season, and the broader implications for the integrity of college football. The article reveals Stalions' legal troubles, including a lawsuit by a homeowners association for running an appliance refurbishing business from his home, violating bylaws. Stalions, representing himself, suggested prejudice against him as a veteran or animosity from a Michigan State fan. The judge ordered him to cease the business. As the NCAA's investigation into illegal scouting and signal stealing unfolds, shocking revelations emerge about Connor Stalions, the former Michigan football staffer turned entrepreneur. Stalions is found to have registered businesses in 3 states. Wait, and Blake Corum and Connor O'Dea? One, BC2 Housing LLC lists Michigan running back Blake Corum as a co-organizer. However, Corum and his father deny any knowledge of the business. Corum expresses surprise, stating that Stalions was merely a staff member at the facility, and they had no relationship.
"Sure, and my aunt had big hairy balls."
Stalions' electronic signature is the sole one on the business's initial filing. Corum pledges to resolve the matter through his attorneys. Stalions, a former student volunteer and superfan, fulfilled his dream of joining Michigan's football staff officially in 2022, according to the university. He had been volunteering since as early as 2018, according to his now-deleted LinkedIn page. As we delve into the heart of the matter, the conference commissioner, in his review, unearthed a scheme designed to gain an unfair advantage by stealing opponents' signs. As the university responded, the conference commissioner, in his capacity, concluded that the violations were real. The sportsmanship policy, designed to uphold the integrity of competition, demanded swift action. The conference, aware of the ongoing impact on opponents, chose to act immediately. The cause of this disciplinary action? Violations of the conference's sportsmanship policy, specifically an alleged years-long in-person scouting scheme allegedly orchestrated by Stalions alone.
Yeah, right, buddy.
The aim? To gain an unfair advantage by stealing signs from upcoming opponents, a move that strikes at the very heart of fair play. It all began on October 19th when the NCAA shared a damning master spreadsheet during a pivotal video conference. This spreadsheet exposed an extensive in-person sign-stealing operation detailing names, attendance assignments, and future game strategies. As the days passed, between October 20th and November 4th, the conference unearthed more evidence. Additional documentation revealed ticket purchases for off-campus games and strategic seating plans. Photos and videos surfaced from the public domain, capturing the staff member dressed like a coach, communicating with coaching staff during crucial games. The evidence painted a vivid picture of a systematic scheme. On November 2nd, a pivotal call with NCAA President Baker unfolded. The NCAA laid out their evidentiary conclusions, stating they knew and could prove a vast off-campus scouting scheme, strategic ticket purchases, an in-person video recording of opponents' signs. Post-call, a meeting with conference's athletic directors echoed concerns. Opponents faced a continued disadvantage without their trusted sign systems. Safety risks loomed if the in-person scouting had been more effective. A tense meeting on November 3rd with the university president revealed a clash of perspectives. Despite definitive evidence, the president contended, oral updates do not and cannot constitute evidence, urging patience for the NCAA investigation. November 4th marked a turning point. The conference formally notified the University of sportsmanship policy violations, signaling impending disciplinary action. The future of the game hung in suspense as the fallout of the scandal continued to unfold. As the scandal deepened, the conference took decisive action, issuing a formal notice to the university on November 4th, alleging a violation of the sportsmanship policy connected to the impermissible scheme. The notice, referencing the master spreadsheet and evidence from the NCAA, emphasized that the violations were not isolated incidents, but pervasive, systemic transgressions occurring over multiple years. The integrity of competition, a fundamental element of sportsmanship, had been compromised. The sportsmanship policy expressly places responsibility on the member institution for the actions of its employees, coaches, and even the general student body. The University of Michigan, in the crosshairs, faced not just a violation, but the enduring impact of compromised competition. In the face of this grave offense, the university's response on November 8th did not deny the impermissible scheme. Instead, it presented procedural and technical arguments, attempting to deflect accountability. The university, in response on November 8th, didn't deny the impermissible scheme, but challenged the conference's authority. The mention of further disciplinary action was met with a reply of bet from the players, coaches, students, and fans. Athletic Director Ward Manuel and even University President Santa Ono joined in, totally dismissing the conference and sportsmanship as a whole. This angered Tony Petitti and the conference. They argued that the conference couldn't enforce rules during an ongoing NCAA investigation and presented a belief that other conference members engaged in similar conduct. To address the university's claim of insufficient evidence, the conference requested the NCAA share all relevant documents it had provided to the university. Despite initial resistance, the university eventually consented, leading to the verification of extensive evidence, including interviews, photos, videos, and the master spreadsheet. The commissioner, supported by the Joint Group Executive Committee, JGEC, imposed a major disciplinary action. Effective immediately, the university's head football coach would be barred from attending games for the remainder of the 2023 season. Practices and other team activities remained unaffected. With the JGEC's final decision on the disciplinary action, the commissioner's determination marked a critical moment in the scandal. The fallout reverberated through the world of college football, raising questions about sportsmanship, integrity, and the lengths some may go to gain a competitive edge. The disciplinary action came swift and firm, a verdict echoing through the halls of college football. Effective immediately, the university's football team must compete without its head football coach for the remaining games of the 2023 regular season. As the conference commissioner stresses the preeminence of competition integrity, the looming question remains: what lies ahead for the University of Michigan? Will additional revelations bring further disciplinary actions? Or will this be a watershed moment, urging a recommitment to the fundamental values of fair play and sportsmanship? Before Michigan's matchup with undefeated Washington in the College Football Playoff National Championship, the Wolverines' junior quarterback J.J. McCarthy was asked how he would feel, hypothetically, if the Wolverines were to win a national title only for it to get vacated down the line, like USC's 2005 championship. His reply: from an outside perspective, it would be very unfortunate just to not get recognized for all the hard work we put in and everything we accomplished over the last year. McCarthy continued. I feel like it's so unfortunate because there's probably, I don't want to say a crazy number, but probably a good number, 80% of teams in college football steal signs, McCarthy said. It's a thing about football. It's been about for years. We actually had to adapt because in 2020 or 2019, when Ohio State was stealing our signs, which is legal and they were doing it a legit way, we had to get up to the level they were at and make it an even playing field. There is no credible information or evidence to suggest that Ohio State football engaged in sign stealing in 2019 or 2020 in an illicit or rule-violating manner, or in any manner at all. Nor is there any credible evidence to suggest 80% of teams are sign stealing, at least not to the extent Michigan went. McCarthy wasn't even a student at Michigan in 2019 or 2020. Who is feeding the team these lies? Were the players brainwashed in order not to question the massive sign-stealing scheme underway? So to summarize, McCarthy essentially admits that Michigan was stealing signals, and out of delusion, they felt they had to adapt and level up their scheme in order to level the playing field. Unfortunately, this level up was well outside NCAA and Big Ten rules. Teams often study opponents' signals and tendencies as part of their game preparation, and this is considered acceptable within the rules of college football. Sign stealing becomes an issue when it involves unauthorized means, such as using electronic devices, spying, or any other activities that violate the established rules and guidelines. It's crucial to differentiate between legal and illegal sign stealing practices.
Hear that, Michigan fans?
At this time, the NCAA continues their investigation into Michigan's advanced scouting and sign stealing scheme. No definitive proof has been released showing that Harbaugh knew of the scheme, even though it was going on right under his nose for years. So either old Jimmy is an oblivious idiot savant or is lying and knew the entire time. Michigan fans proclaim him as a genius, yet no genius would be oblivious to a scheme of this magnitude. At the finish of the 2023 season, Jim Harbaugh immediately took the Los Angeles Chargers' vacant head coach position. He also took off with half of Michigan's coaching staff, leaving the program and Sharon Moore in shambles.
Bird, yeah! Guitar solo!
Anyway, considering the facts just summarized, references can be found below, and the video and photos in the public domain, you could come to a fair and reasonable conclusion that Jim Harbaugh, the entire staff, and team knew of this scheme. When you put these easy-to-fit pieces together, the truth becomes very clear. With that, I leave you with this excerpt from Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti's very letter to Michigan. The integrity of competition is the backbone of any sports conference or league. That is especially true for sports contests between student athletes. Athletes compete to win. Competition that is only about winning while disregarding the rules of fair play diminishes all of us, including our institutions. The integrity of the competition must be preeminent. Its value is fundamental and far exceeds the value of winning. Indeed, it is the very source of any value in winning. Regardless of the NCAA's or Big Ten's next move, or if this stain is added to the record books, the public perception, outside of the state of Michigan, of course, will always be that the 2023 Wolverines are champions with an asterisk. So what are your thoughts? Did Jim Harbaugh, the coaches, and team know the depths of the scheme? Were they involved? Please leave your comments below. Also, make sure to like and sub. It's very much appreciated.